You just people really think you want to hear it.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, honestly, I couldn't do what you're doing. I'm like, do I make it look that hard? Like, do I make it look that painful?
That's the challenge I feel when you're doing stand up. You need to make it look the right amount of hard and the right amount of easy.
Well, wait, did I? You guys know that review I got in Perth? It was like a 5-star review, and the leading adjective was unperturbed. I was like, oh, yeah, that's something you say to people where things are going well.
Yeah, he didn't seem bothered by the situation.
Usain Bolt appeared unperturbed as he ran the 100 new world record. Just bloody chill about the whole thing, you know?
5 stars. I would have wanted to kill myself, but he seems okay with it.
What's the worst review you've ever gotten?
Oh, man, there was this, because I wrote a play in uni, and I still remember, like, I know, right?
I'd like to give you the worst review right now.
Would everybody like to review me?
Is the review just 3 letters?
No, dude, it was like this play at uni that like people seem to really enjoy it. Like to the point where when I started doing stand up, everyone was like, yeah, but you got to do like another play or something. Like, this is garbage.
Really?
Yeah. But then like this guy who like worked on it was like, oh, haven't you seen the review though? And I was like, what review? And this is like years removed. And it was just this review that was just like scathing. I still remember like the thing was blah, blah, blah play. The problem at the heart of it was Daniel Muggleton's script. And I'm like, wow, thanks.
Did it have a star rating?
No star rating or 0 stars. I can't be sure.
What was the play about?
Look, really creative stuff. I was a pub trivia host at the time, and it was about a pub trivia night. Basically, this person at uni was like, oi, can you write a play? We need to like put something on. And like, I was like, when do you need it? And they were like, over the weekend essentially. So I wrote this thing in like a few days. But it was
Do you
like,
still back it?
It was kind of like your rent.
His career died before he made it to Broadway.
Trivia host play. What a fucking shit idea.
I like it. It's finding the beauty
All
in the
the
mundane,
songs are just
baby.
the songs from the music round.
I mean, it wasn't a fucking musical. It was a play. Like there was no chorus line.
They're all the same to me, mate.
I mean, this was the thing. Like I wasn't into theater in like any way, shape, or form. Like I at that point, I'd written as many plays as I'd watched, which was one.
What play did you watch?
Like some Shakespeare thing in school. Might have been Romeo and Juliet.
About a bingo hall.
Yeah, you can only imagine today. It's just like, drag bingo.
Yeah.
That's what the plays are
That'd
about.
be a hit.
What kind of struggles did the trivia host go through?
Well, no, it wasn't the trivia. The trivia host was a cunt.
Okay.
I mean, write what you know. And so it was the guy was on a date at the trivia night, and the trivia host was trying to like cut in, and his mates are there with like they have like +1s to make the date less weird, and there was like a gay bouncer. It was a whole thing.
I don't reckon a date is less weird when you like bring heaps of +1s.
But that's the logic, though. It's like, hey, you know what'd ease the tension on this?
Yeah.
My mate.
Gang.
What are you, a crim has just gotten out and needs to fucking chaperone on his day?
There's nothing wrong with that scenario, right?
Yeah, very normal.
okay.
Every girl felt very comfortable, especially Hamo's mum.
There's a bit of pub trivia beef in Brisbane at the moment.
Here we go.
Whoa.
You've heard about
Hot
this?
scoop.
The gig versus trivia? Is that
Yeah,
the one you're
there's like an open air gig in Brisbane run by this guy, and then Quizmasters or Masters.
That's who I used to work for.
Yeah,
Quizmasters, yeah.
They've
You've
started.
got to be careful here, Pete. You might get banned from rooms bringing this up on a podcast.
I'm not saying I'm picking a side. I'm just saying what's happening. And then so the trivia is also in an open air, and they both rooms just keep pumping the volume.
Right.
But then the guy that runs the comedy show continually, like in the group chats for the lineup, keeps just like bad mouthing the trivia, and everyone's like, oh, it's actually not that, it's not bothering us that much, like it's fine, we're probably bothering the bar when we do comedy every week. But he keeps calling it like shite trivia because he's from the UK, and he's like, yeah, fucking shithole trivia's on, guys, so sorry. But he gets like so angry about it, and he's banned because the guy that runs it's a comedian, so he's banned him from all of his gigs.
Because he tried to do a gig. He was doing trivia. The music was a little bit too loud. So the bar said to him, the next door bar said, can you turn that down because we've got stuff on? He's like, yeah, no worries. Turns it down. And then he messages the bloke and says, oh, can I go last because I've got to finish trivia? And the guy's like, why would I give you a spot when you're trying to ruin what I've built?
Oh my God. Dude, local comedy beef. It's huge.
It's awesome.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
I love
exciting
it
to have the sequel to the first
Yeah.
play already. All sort of. Comedy
stuff-
v trivia.
This stuff
Play.
writes itself. No, I mean, it's funny that he was like calling it shit trivia because when I was working with them, their tagline was the least shit pub trivia. That was the big tag.
And it is good.
It is good.
It's actually, like, it's fun.
Pub
It's
trivia.
multimedia.
Quizmaster's trivia is good trivia.
Look, I want to be very clear. I've had to sell trivia to venues. I've had to sell comedy to venues. I've had to sell myself doing comedy to venues. Like
And the last one's the hardest one to pitch.
No. Comedy in general is harder to pitch, right? Because they're like, yeah, I'm just going to get my mates down, open mic. It'll run forever and everything will say, everything everyone says will be weird. But don't worry about it. You're going to get 3 people nursing 1 beer for 4 hours. That's the vibe.
Yeah,
it's a
about
real money
6
spinner.
legs.
Anyway, can I get drink vouchers? That's enough. But no, like trivia is objectively such a better time than comedy.
100%.
100%.
It's funny, like where we went to uni, it was like what people can convince a pub to do. Like there was a thing called DK Pool Club, which started as just a bunch of boys playing pool. And then they got enough people in that the venue was like, we'll put on a keg if you get like 50 people in or whatever. And then it turned into a weekly night of debauchery.
It was just
where,
a giant party every time.
What's DK stand for?
Drift
the 2
King.
guys that started it.
Yeah.
I don't know the names.
Thank you, Pete.
I think it was just slightly before our time.
Family.
It was slightly before our time, but I'd like to think that's where your origin story may have begun.
What, the CSU Bathurst or the DK?
Yeah, the DK in Bathurst.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the thing. I'm glad to finally, someone from Hamo's past is a pure joy because everyone knows him as this guy who allegedly went to prison. And
Well, that
Can't prove it.
that part's that part's set in stone. That's in the history books.
no.
Is it? Yeah.
We've made it very clear on this podcast that I don't believe he went to prison because when I was like, "Where's your mugshot?" and he's like, "I don't have one." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, well,
I
it
did
was
eventually dig one up in my defense, but at the time I was racking my
Oh,
brain.
now you want to have
dig one up.
defense.
Photoshop.
Yeah, dig one up. Went down to the post office.
I was saying to him last night, I just can't imagine, like, the criminal version of you.
What do you mean? It's the exact same, except
I know,
he
but
was
it's just
more
like-
annoying because he was on coke.
I just find like there's people in your life that like I genuinely can't look at you and take you seriously in any way. You just have the silliest, goofiest face, and I can't imagine someone owing you money and you're like threatening them
That's
with
why
this
I didn't do
fucking
things on
face.
tick. I didn't do things on tick because I hated being the bad guy. I was like,
What a big good bloke.
I can't chase this guy up for money. I was talking to someone last night on my tech at my show about just how he was like, you must have been the most friendly drug dealer. And I was like, actually, it was quite a few times where people would come over and they'd be really nervous. They'd say like, oh, I've never bought drugs before. And I'd have to be like, I'd have to walk them through it. I'd be like, don't worry, you're doing fine.
Just like,
You're doing great.
just walk them through it. It's just like, look, so it's really normal. Just take your pants off. Let's start there. Now,
Shelving
yeah.
is the only way. It literally is the only way for this stuff to work.
By the way, a bag of cocaine costs $500. So just give me that in check. That's what you're going to want to do in the future. Just really ruin your own sale just to fuck with this dude. They turn up to a black Audi outside a pub with 350 in check. I'm like, this is good, right? What's your name again? Just let me write that down.
I had this rich American dude came over one time to buy bags of Coke, and he said how much. He wanted 2 bags, and I said $600, and he pulled out $1,200 to give it to me. And I'm like, no, what? I'm like, how much do you think these bags are? They're not $600 each. And so then I had to correct him. But in my head, I'm like, if I was a more ruthless businessman, I could have ripped that guy off.
Yeah.
Mate, you got too much of a good soul. You got too much of a good soul for the business the whole time.
I still get messages now like, we fucking miss you, man. Like, it's the game's changed.
That's nice. That's nice to get
Since you've
that.
been out of it, no one can get good Coke. Everyone's trying to rip you off. Like,
Come back for
they're
one
just
big
all-
heist. Get the
Everyone's
team together.
everyone's so unscrupulous these days. You just need a few more guys out there just doing it for the love of drugs.
Yeah, it was too much. There's too much big business in the game now.
what-
It used
what-
to be full of mum and pop organisations. It's really bricks
Yeah.
and mortar, and
It
now
was
it's just all
supposed-
big corp.
You're supposed to be in it because you love drugs.
Yeah.
Like you love having a good time on drugs. Isn't that just...
No, I thought most people got into drug dealing to cover their debts.
Own drug dealer.
Yeah, their drug consumption.
I used to-
sometimes that's part of it, but you can also have just pride in what you're doing, being a fun facilitator.
That's a great way to put it.
That's a great time for the
Fun
role.
facilitator when you're
Fun
going for your
facilitator,
small
that's good.
business loan? What are you doing? I'm facilitating fun.
For about 15 years. I thought it was interesting what you said last night about when he starts to lose his voice before his show. Like if he ever has a gravelly voice, all the jokes don't land because it's less funny. It's more intimidating when he's talking about prison with a deep voice.
Yeah, because when we were in Melbourne, right, I was drinking a lot and vaping a lot.
Wait, sorry. What were you doing? Drinking a lot?
I was drinking a lot, right?
And
I'm
vaping a lot?
Yeah.
For an audio medium, fucking good on you for acting it out, brother. I mean, everyone would be confused. What does it mean by drinking? Where does it go?
That's a good clip right there. But I noticed that like there's a few times when I'd partied a bit too much and my voice became quite hoarse. And so, yeah, there's a big difference between like I went to prison and I went to prison, right? And so that would terrify people.
Were you saying it the first way initially? I went to prison.
Oh, should have heard how he said it last night. So before the show last night, I said, "Hey Hammer, one of the times that you say prison, I haven't seen the show, but I know you will."
He'll say it too many times if you ask me. Someone's covering for something.
So, we know you went to TAFE, Hammer, just be honest. I said, one of the times you say prison, I would like you to say prison with a W.
Prison. That's cute.
He challenged me. He
I went
dared me.
to prison. And just when he hit it, it was just seamless. Perfect landing, both feet down, arms up, bow to the judges. Fucking crushed the landing so hard, no one else noticed. But it was just enough for everyone to kind of be like, what? Like it just was like a little bit, and it was just us at the back going on our legs.
This one's for the boys.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, I just thought it easy to like. Yeah, so I was in prison for 4 months, and
It's the cutest.
It does make it sound much nicer.
Yeah, maybe when you got the
Poison.
gravelly voice, you should say prison. Then everyone's like, oh, it's adorable.
I was in Wong Bay jail. It was really
I was in Parkway.
Dude, I guess Elmer Fudd didn't get his hunting license that year. Huh? What a nightmare.
So we went out for a beer after the show.
What,
I don't
yeah?
know- I don't know if you know this.
For a beer?
I don't know if you heard this. Is a bit out of character, but I was like, all right, just this one time. And we were at the Exeter Hotel, and at the end of the night, there was a bouncer who was just quite a mean
Fuckhead.
guy. He was quite a
what, a bouncer?
yeah. He was quite an ogre, really.
An
this guy-
ogre?
Yeah. This big, grizzly, mean-spirited guy. And he said something quite menacing at the end, like, we're closing. When I come back, if you guys are still here, you're going to regret it. Just something like that, which sounded
Wow,
like,
that's a lot.
Yeah. And I
On a
was just like-
Thursday?
yeah. And me and Nick Carr were just mouthing off about how much of a fuckwit this guy was. But then I said it'd be quite a funny sketch to do like a sketch of like a bouncer, like a mean-spirited giant bouncer having to do like emotional sensitivity training, like emotional intelligence training.
Yeah.
And then Pete chimed in really sarcastically and goes, "You're right, Hamo. That would be a good sketch."
That's not how I said it.
Yeah, you roasted me. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, but which one of us is the king of the internet? Like, I think...
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say neither.
All right, well,
Heavy is the
I'm up
head
there.
that
I'm
wears
top
the
10.
crown. That's why you got such a structurally strong neck, because that crown is so
Pushing it down.
fucking heavy. Just condensing this
But
man.
now, I've been thinking
You look
about
like
this.
a half-popped whack-a-mole.
All right.
You look like a fucking up and go cunt.
Yeah, easy on the up.
Now I've been thinking
Real
about this
down and
more.
stop this fella.
I've been thinking about this image more of me just in a room with like 8 like jacked bouncers and me like with like a whiteboard and just like pointing at stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, I think
I'd
it's
watch a
good.
video of you with 8 bouncers.
What? What'd you say?
I'd watch a video of you with 8
There
bouncers.
we go. And then we add in a few jokes. So we go viral hit, baby.
He gets it.
Make
He's
it
the
black
king
and
of the
white.
internet.
Let's caption this thing.
What's happening here? Are we just like pitching a sketch on a fucking podcast?
Sounds
That's
like
gotta
it.
be funny, right?
Yep.
I
There we go.
preferred your movie ideas. At least your movie ideas had, fun titles that you'd thought of previously.
That's true. We'll be coming to more of those in some future episodes of Flog Cabin, once I remember them.
So how have things been in the cabin, just overall?
A lot of fun.
Have we had a
Pretty
lot
good
of
in the
guests? Do we get a lot of guests in the cabin?
No, you guys are guest number 3 and 4.
Nice.
Who was 1 and 2?
Mickey Bartlett and Amos Gill.
Same time?
No, separate.
Yeah,
That's what I
nice.
mean. It's the fullest cabin ever. We got 4 flogs in the cabin.
Jeez.
So much flogging.
It's crazy. I've never seen
to
so many
bring in 'em-
stiffies in my goddamn life. Outside of Hammer's bouncer sketch. Guys, you got to get in touch with your emotions. So jerk this fella off, would you?
If we have any bouncers that listen to Flog Cabin,
I
right
reckon there's a few.
Here we go. I could
That's
use
another thing
you.
I noticed last night. An Andrew Hamilton crowd really looks like an Andrew Hamilton crowd.
What do you mean? Not a neck amongst them?
Yeah, you can sit on the back and you can see the whole thing.
But it was just like outside.
No one's in the way.
Just people walking to the venue, but you don't know they're going to the venue yet. They're just in the street. But you're like, I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
I know
of
where
hat
you're
backwards,
going.
flat brims, a lot
Hat
of flat brims.
backwards.
A lot of sketchy looking people.
Last night was the most your audience. You were saying like just fucking fully like.
It was just a room of degenerates. I loved it.
But I mean, it's like 10 p.m. on a fucking Thursday. Who else is going to that? You know, like, how rough is your home life that you're like 10 p.m. Thursday comedy? Gotta go
Oh,
see.
elitist white man.
Yeah, that's like
How
my
rough.
whole thing. Are you serious?
Disgusting behaviour.
You're going to backtrack on that?
Some of us do
When you guys
stuff.
brought up TAFE before, I was like, if you think how I went to prison or TAFE, which one has less employment opportunities? And in my head, it's TAFE. I want you to know that for sure. At least in
I mean, they're
prison,
teaching the
there's-
pedos how to fucking bake. What are they doing in TAFE? Teach them how to be fucking Sparkies.
Do you have an audience that looks like your audience, or is it just a random?
Dude, I saw a guy in a tracksuit last night and I was like, bang, he's on. Good on you, Joey. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Fuck, it was a hot tracksuit.
When did
yeah?
the tracksuit start? At what point
UK.
did you become Batman?
UK. And then,
Right.
and then I wouldn't wear the full thing in the UK because it seemed like a bit toy, you know, just like going up like from full tracksuit like I'm being some fucking chav character.
I just love that he coughed in the middle of you explaining that. But
Dude, his mouth noises are a huge part of this podcast. They're actually our guest most weeks. That's why I'm glad you guys are here. No, but just like, yeah, and I didn't want the whole thing. And then when I did the Jim Jeffries thing, like he met me in the tracksuit. We got turned away from a bar in the tracksuit. And then to go on stage, I like took the top off. And I came off stage. He's like, you're the only comedian I've ever met who had a look until they got off stage. Oh, sorry, until they got on stage.
Right.
And I was just like, well, that's a good point, isn't it? So I started wearing it.
how long has it been? How many years have you been in the tracksuit?
Since end of 2019?
Right.
Do you find it fires you up a little bit?
Oh, it's a uniform. I love
I've never
that.
seen him fired up. Yeah. You watch him do stand up?
You should
Fucking go.
Yeah.
Martin, as soon as the tracks go,
Yeah.
I'm ready for this show.
Yeah. I've never seen a
I've
comic
never-
enter the stage almost not wanting energy in the room.
That's my gift. I was going to say, I don't fire up before you go fire up after because I'm like, can you believe those fucking cunts in that room?
There's that energy.
Didn't laugh the whole time. Those
gotta
fucking piece of shit. I slammed the door yesterday coming off stage and this coward was like, fucking dog, slammed the door.
And
I'm
the
like,
audience was like,
yeah, there he is.
You got to come on with that energy.
Passion.
Yeah,
Absolutely
a bit of
not.
more passion.
Dude, the amount of times I've left stage and immediately thrown something at a wall, like it's crazy.
No,
You're such a subdued, like calm figure, but then like there's so much bubbling under there. Like, it's
really-
it's a cocktail.
I'm
of-
like a duck on a lake.
you are truly you're Bill Burr in a Daniel Muggleton suit. Like inside you, there is an angry fucking.
I love that you have tantrums though, because it really does play to the spoiled white guy kind of thing. It's like everything's going well, and then you're like, no, just coming back here. Just I can imagine the bed's behind us now. You just be face down, screaming at a pillow, kicking his legs up and down.
Just absolutely furious. Just fuming.
just crying into a McFlurry.
Ringing up dad.
No. It's never my fault. That's the thing. It's never crying. It's just anger.
Yeah.
It's like, can you believe these fucking people didn't behave exactly how I expected?
They just don't get it.
Yeah, ringing up the folks. Yeah, this is what happens when you let the help come to shows.
Yeah. No, it's like, I don't know, but thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Great to have an audience, but you know.
Yeah.
Nah, they get it. Anyone who likes me gets it. Like I genuinely, like I say during the show, it's not for everybody. My fan base is scum, and they laugh, and I'm like, yeah, they know.
Yeah, we call our audience scum at the beginning of our shows. I just realised as well.
Yeah, gutter slugs. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
TAFE, Jetstar. Yeah.
No,
See, I'd never suggest that.
You never,
No, they're
no,
about
yours
it.
aren't going on Jetstar. They don't know what that is.
They're looking at Virgin, being like, don't know.
Yeah. If
Is
I
this
have
the
to.
national carrier? But the Qantas is a sack of shit. Let's not get started on that.
Yeah, I called my crowd degenerates last night. They were just nodding along like he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. Of course.
Hell yeah. I think
I mean, I'm also one of them. Like,
Yeah.
your crowd's a kind of crowd that's like stealing. You know how like the little caps on tires? They're leaving the gig doing that shit.
Not the
Stealing-
hubcap, just the little.
The little like
Yeah,
there's like
yeah,
little
yeah.
metal
The
ones.
the pettiness of that.
Yeah, they're doing that and putting it on their little push bikes because they don't have a license.
I like to think like a flowchart of like Hammer's audience. Have you ever badged a car? Yes. Do you have a tattoo on your forearm whose origin you can't really explain? Yes. Have you ever put drugs into your asshole? Yes.
Yeah,
Then you
come
got
on
the
now, that's a lot
comedian
of-
for you.
There's never been so much DUI in such small square footage.
Like
So many
all
people
of
getting a
your-
scooter to the show. Not by choice.
They didn't pay for it though. It's going off the whole time.
There was a guy after the show that runs a tattoo shop in Barley that was insisting that I had
That's
to come
spot
over
on.
for a tattoo there.
To Barley.
What are you talking here?
Come over to Barley for a tattoo.
Yeah, he runs a shop in Cooter, and he was like, "Mate, you got to come over. The boys will sort you out."
That's not all
If
they
I
do.
ever went to Bali for a tattoo, just know that I've been kidnapped. This is a hostage situation.
Someone's got his phone. There's no way he sent that. Prove it's you. I'm
just
having a
getting
great
help
time at
tattooed on my
Adelaide
forearm.
Fringe. Got you, cunt. I know that's not Daniel. I know that's not Daniel.
Because I've been like trying to find like a place to live, right? You got to fill out forms, and I'm like, I think if the big companies steal our data, they should have to fill out the form for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm
Yeah,
happy for you to know
sure.
everything about me, but like when it's like date of birth, blah blah blah, I just want TikTok to fill it in.
Yeah, stop pretending like you don't already know all this information.
Yeah, it's like the Chinese
Yeah.
Communist Party. Do me a solid. I'll tell you everything you need to know and corrupt the Western society. Great, but if I have to fill out a form, you fill it in.
Yeah.
And like, I think, yeah, it should also go to the point where, you know, it's like reCAPTCHA, like to prove you're not a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the reCAPTCHA to prove that you're you. You know?
Okay.
Like they know that
Okay.
much about you that it's just like, for me, it'd be like, hey, select the words that describe Dan's relationship with his father.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you don't pick good, it's the real me.
But that's what a robot could figure out.
Exactly.
So that doesn't work quite as well.
Even robots look at how I've been brought up and be like, not a lot of hugs. Not a huge amount. More eye contact than we'd like. But wait, I want the origin of Hamo because this tickles me because like at the Super Bowl I got to meet one of his friends from like life who's known for a long time, and you've met him at uni. And I know
Yeah.
that Hamo's won Incident of the Year at university twice, which sounds worse than it is, just for anyone who's like,
That
holy
would have
shit.
been before my time
That
as well, though.
was in Towers.
Incident of the year.
Incident of the Year.
I won
To
incident
be fair,
of the
like
year.
Hammer and I were like, we knew each other, but I was a customer more than a
where
friend.
Were you,
I think.
which,
Aren't we all?
which residence did you live in?
Towers.
Oh, you were in Towers.
Yeah, I was in what was the other tower? You know, the two.
So this is
Heath and
Bathurst.
Cottrell.
Yeah, I was in Cottrell for when we met.
Just for context, this is CSU Bathurst, regional New South Wales town
Yep.
that
Yep.
had like a strong journalism thing.
Communications, and
Journalism,
stuff, yeah.
journalism, communication.
But
what
it just-
other-
Paramedics.
Well, yep.
But
Exercise
like,
science and shit.
in my experience, I've done a few gigs there over the years. Like just loose. Like Bathurst is loose
Love a beer.
and
Oh, mate.
rough.
yeah.
I found
Kelso's
that's
rough.
the closest I've ever been to getting glass on stage with Bathurst.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty close.
I had many fights there, and all the times it was so funny because in Sydney, like if you get in a fight and you're kicked out, like you've got to go. But here, the bouncer would be like, "All right, you guys just don't go near each other for a while."
Yeah.
Like, it was just, you're allowed to stay.
Yeah, you could say.
You can have an open brawl, and they'd be like, "All right, no, neither of you are allowed near the bar for 10 minutes."
Yeah,
All right, that's the punishment.
pretty good. It's
Think about what you've done. Oh man, I really fucked up there. I'm thirsty.
Go for a Coke Zero and calm down.
I remember the guy who ran the uni bar, Pete Starkey. He was like,
Yeah.
he just let you get away with murder, and I did something bad. I can't remember what it was.
Murder.
But he was.
One would assume.
But he's like, Hammer, you're banned from the next 2 nights at uni bar. And he was
Whoa,
like, and there
dude.
was an event on the next night. He was like, are you going to that one? And I said, I wasn't planning to. And he goes, good. That's one of the nights you're banned. There we go. Just classic
Which
stuff
nights
like
you're not
that.
covered. Yeah, that's,
Um,
it was a loose place. I used to work at a bottle shop in Kelso, which is like just as you come into Bathurst.
Is Kelso?
That was the rough part.
Yeah, sounds it.
Yeah, it was like I remember a lady came through with a partner, and they were going through the aisles, and where I worked was like they made the counter extra long, and the reason was so that people couldn't grab you from on the other side of the counter. You were just out of reach, and you'd have to keep an eye on everyone when they came through. And she's walking around with her pram. And as they come to like buy one drink, I was like looking up at the cameras, and there's no baby in the pram. They've just been shoving bottles of wine behind the seat. And you got like these 2-way doors for them to leave. You just press a button and they're stuck in the middle of it. You just have to be like, all right, you're gonna give those back or what? And they're like, oh fuck it, oh man. And then like the wine bottle's like $5. They're like $5 cooking wines. They're just shoving them in the back.
Is that a boy or a girl or a mixed dozen?
You just reminded me of something. That same guy that ran a uni bar tried to run his own like small business. This is like before Uber Eats. He invented like the sole,
I remember
the sole trader version of Uber Eats.
Please don't say he was delivering food. That's been around pre Uber Eats, bro. They were like, what if food came to me?
All right, but he was doing it for all.
He was an innovator.
He was doing in there.
He was doing it in Bathurst. He would go and like pick up your food and deliver it to you, and it was just like you had to text him or call him, and he would like do it, and it would be like a $10-15 charge for him to deliver it.
Like
big
food or
markup.
alcohol as well?
I think it was just food.
Okay.
But the problem was he would only do this till 10 p.m. at night. And so like, and this was on his mobile phone. He's married. And so I called him at like 2 a.m, like fucking like, where was the fucking phone? Like, and he was like, oh, like, okay, so there's a flaw in the business plan. First, I like, should have put my phone off.
Should have bought a second mobile. Number one.
Should have put my phone on plane mode after 10 p.m. He's like,
I forgot how he's going to have his second dinner. Should have known.
And I said, he said, mate, I'm only doing this till 10 p.m. at night. And I said, no offense, but who the fuck needs it before 10 p.m.? I can just go do that myself. The only time I would need you is when I'm too pissed to drive past midnight.
Well, let's be fair. You're too pissed to drive from 4 p.m, I think.
That's very fair. But also the people I would bully or ask politely into driving me down to get some food, also sleeping or drunk. So anyway, I don't think that business lasted very long. And then someone stole his idea and invented Uber Eats.
What a dog.
Someone stole his idea.
Invented Uber Eats.
crazy.
Oh, poor Pete Sharkey. Was it Sharky or Starkey? Starkey. Fuck, I wish it was Sharky though.
Pete Sharkey.
Pete Sharkey sounds like the exact guy who's like running Uber Eats as a side business while he's managing Unibar with a family. Mate, how's Sharky doing? The same, I reckon. Lock it in.
Unibar was famous because they'd lock it out and you couldn't get in after a certain time, but everyone knew about the through the roof where you'd have to do the jump. Like there was like a staircase in the middle of the bar that you could come down, but you'd have to go up over the roof and like jump onto the like to come down the fire escape.
Yeah,
and it used to just be this period of the night people would get kicked out or whatever, and like people would stand near these 2 double doors near the bar and just wait for their mate to come running down and just tap on the door and they just open the door and let them in. Just watch these fucking people come down.
Awesome.
Great.
Dude, yeah, you
times.
gotta break into a Unibar every now and again. I remember I jumped the fence a couple of times at mine.
Whoa!
Here we go.
Here we are.
Nah, they kick you out. You jump the fence. They're like, dude, what the fuck? And you're like, damn.
You've got good
How did you
dimensions.
recognise me? You're in an all-red tracksuit.
Were you
Flaw in my plan.
Are you a good fence scaler? You look like you got the right dimensions for it.
Well, my old house where I used to live, there was like a 6.
Yeah, he looks like he jumps at like
Wait.
the Olympics. just comes up
one
the side.
Just step over it.
He goes back first.
Frosby flopping into the Unibar. My mates are just there to catch me. Yeah, Margot's in. Let's get a 50-50. Do you guys have that? Old and new?
Yeah, a
50%.
golden oldie.
A golden oldie, yeah.
What's
Fuck,
this?
that was a horrible... For
a
some
golden
reason
oldie.
at uni, people thought it was cool to get like 2E's new. You get 2E's old, 2E's new, 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
Old and new, 50-50.
Terrible.
Golden oldie was
Golden
Forex
oldie.
gold and an old, but that's because there used to be a 2E's old brown. And when I worked at a pub in Scone, the guys up there used to drink golden oldies because they were like, oh, they don't make the brown anymore. And their whole idea
And
was
you're
they were
like,
making
I'm
their own
right
one.
here. Hello.
My ears are burning.
Shad was a much more camp younger man. Hello.
I love a made-up drink. There was a gig in Brisbane for a while at a bowls club, and they used to make us Swampies.
Oh, yeah.
What's
which
a
was
swampy?
which was just well, they were like, do you want a Swampy? Do you know what a Swampy is? I'm like, no. And I'm like, I'm gonna make you a Swampy and just guess what it is. And I had a sip and I said, is that Forex Gold with sarsaparilla cordial? And he's like, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. My mate Joe in Cairns invented one, and it's not a good drink, but he just thought it was funny because the title's better than the taste of the drink, but it's called a 35. So it's 3/4 of a Forex Gold, which makes up for 3 X's, so that's 30, and then you top it off with a V.
Roman numerals. That's fun.
Bit of a 35.
I like that.
135, please.
That's
Look,
good.
that's more Roman numerals than I figured Cairns would have, to be fair.
Well,
I don't think you're big fans.
We just got them.
Just got it.
We just got them up there. They're pretty cool.
numbers are going to fucking crush up there, man.
Do you reckon if you went to like a pub in Brisbane, like, yeah, can I get a 40? They'd just be like baffled.
There'd be some that I reckon call it that.
You reckon just as
Because
a
we love a nickname.
as
I
a
love
lad's
switching
thing?
it up. Yeah.
Surely that has to.
Probably at the regatta or something where your mobs hang out, all the fucking boat
yeah,
shoes
Johnny
tops.
fucking RMs.
Yeah, it's so easy.
I feel like with Whitcomb not being
You
here, I'm
shouldn't be
taking
in
a
the
lot of
Flog
hate
Cabin.
for being a wanker.
Yeah, but you sound like you own the Flog Cabin. We're just Airbnb-ing it. That's what the vibe is.
Am I not renting it to you guys? I'm paying the water rates. You shut your mouth.
Why do you have a locked cabin in the Flog Cabin? Just let
Yeah,
me
what's in there?
Dude, flog is like a pretentious term, though. It's like for someone who's pretentious. If you look up the Urban Dictionary,
Oh,
which
see,
I
it's
have,
that kind of talk that I don't go
come
understand.
on.
Dictionary, get out of here.
Whoa, slow down, egghead. Do you guys call 4X's mangoes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milton mangoes.
Milton mangoes.
Mangoes, mate.
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
bad. I think 4S gets
gold
one
is
of
the best.
I think 4S gets one of the worst raps out of any beer in Australia.
Gold is hot Brisbane summer.
A tin.
It is exactly the flavour required.
Yeah.
Maybe I get it if you live in like a dreary fucking Melbourne. Why would you want this? So you don't want this. You want something with a bit of fucking. Oh, but when you're hot and you're sweaty and you just want water with a bit of something.
Okay. It's very drinkable.
It's
in a can. I
incredibly
feel like the
drinkable.
Stubbies let it down.
It's a
but
session
the
beer.
tins,
The tins are supreme.
Tins are fantastic.
And then
Cold
tap.
froth- oh.
What about
come
tap?
Bloody hell, take me home.
Tap obviously
Oh,
is the
obviously,
best. If you
mate.
get the tap, you've got the tap, whatever.
Tap.
So I thought there was like a hierarchy that I was unaware of, where it's like cans,
Tap is always elite.
bottle. There's no bottle.
Always
Is
go
there?
tap.
There's a Stubby, but it's not as good. Stubby doesn't give it a.
When I was
the
on bail, I wasn't allowed to drink alcohol. And
Mm.
so I just drank 4X because I was like, that's close enough, isn't it?
mid strength. Yeah, that
It's
works.
mid-strength. I'm like,
Yeah, I've had the same argument
around-
with the cops on the highway, but they didn't take it either.
oh, this is kind of...
Obviously, you don't understand. It's a mid strength. I'm not a lady.
What's your drink of choice, Muggs?
I'll probably go rashes off that.
Fucking, of course you would.
What?
What?
A Rashes.
What's wrong with the fucking rashes?
It's fucking pretentious.
You know what's wrong with it? He doesn't even know what it is.
It
Honestly,
refreshes,
never
mate.
heard of
It's the grey label.
It's...
It's kind of, you know, saying that you
I
like.
never get it out the bottle, only off the tap.
Saying that you like Rashes as your favourite beer is like saying you love Kirk's as your favourite soft drink. You know what I mean? It's like real off the.
What, like a pasita?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean.
What's wrong with
You
the
love a
Pasito?
Pasito, don't you?
Pretty good.
Pasitos
Bit of
are fucking
Passiano?
incredible.
Just
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's like off the, you know what I mean? It's like it's not in the. You're
It's
like, I'm
just-
so different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's just like craft is just a bit much. Like I was in it for a bit. Like I was on like the Newtowners and whatever the fuck. But then
Yeah,
like
I
you just- you can't
It's
sesh
just
on
that
it.
standard alternative. Like there's so many bars where I'm like, there's just one guy buying Rashes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why? There surely there can't be a
You've
good
got
enough
it here for
argument to
clout.
keep this bloody thing on tap.
Yeah, you just got it there so that when someone does an Instagram story, they're like, oh my God, they got Rashes. So I'm going to go there and not drink it.
Once every couple of months, the Rashes Appreciation Society will drop in,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
it'll be like 15
Kegs
guys
in the back room
15
gathering
guys
dust.
sit around like, here we go, boys, we're bloody
Yeah.
on here, and then
15 guys, 18 properties between them.
yeah.
Going in.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, like, put it
discussing
in
the
a
rate
brown
rise.
paper bag, mate. I want to guess the vintage. Let's go. Nah, I don't think Rashes is wanker beer, is it?
it is. I know, it's not,
I think it's just off the-
alternative.
what's
It's
your-
just alternative.
What are you on there? Because I'll go new
Wankers
as well.
crafties.
I'll go new because like uni beer was new, so I've been on the new VB.
Yeah,
I
I'm
find
not
a bit
big on
much.
it.
What's your second favorite beer? Record League.
Nah, I can't do cider, mate. Bit much.
Which for my tummy.
It's a bit sweet. But yeah, like CSU Bathurst just sounds like an absolute mess. I got to say.
It was.
We had a fantastic time.
But what, can we talk about the incidents of the year, or do you not want to grass
yeah,
yourself up?
please.
Yeah. So
What were your incidents of the year?
So
I want to know if I was there.
Can you give context to incident of the year? Because Hammo's like, it's just like, it was the thing that happened in the year that most
there's
people talked
There's a
about.
thing called Bruce Ball. I think that's when they do it.
Bruce
so,
Ball?
So it's because the middle
Sounds
of
like a classy night.
so Towers
You got
was
it, Brucey.
Sounds like a drag bingo presenter. Bruce Ball.
they missed an opportunity there. Fuck. I don't know if he's described what Towers was, but it's like they always used to compare it to a prison. I guess now you can actually compare it to something. but-
giant cement
by a
blocks
prison
that there was this huge famous rumor that it was
Yeah.
like it won an architectural award for like the most
Which
people
is-
crammed into a small space or something like that.
True.
Which, I
It's
don't know
like
that
30 people to a dorm
just this
kind of
brutalist
space.
architecture and just tiny rooms, but. It was like you're packed in with chicks and booze, and
Hell
you're
yeah.
like, this is the greatest place on earth.
But they do at towards the end of the year, they'd have Bruce Ball, which was like the space in between the two towers, and sometimes they'd have people DJing on the balcony looking over. And, yeah, I mean, it was hard going to that uni. I got so itchy every time looking out into the distance. One of these bastards is going to come down.
Bruce Ball on 9/11.
Who's having the worst day?
Watching the TV, be like, everyone's got to get out of here.
You be doing balcony beer bogs? Like,
Yeah.
that was sick. Like, just this most extended hose you've ever seen. You're doing
Oh my God.
You're doing like 3 beers in a single beer bog, and you're like,
And there was a
I
point-
am alive.
There was a point in the afternoon where all the girls would get up on the balcony and flash to the rest of the crowd as well. That was like a yearly event.
That was part of the ball.
Yeah, it's just
Bruce Ball's
feminism,
boobs.
mate. Look it up.
Good stuff.
So you beat all of this for incident of the year. You beat all of these
He
things.
beat all of these things, yeah.
All of these wonderful things he's just mentioned.
They do the awards then, and it's like each dorm does an award for like their kind of thing as well. But
What were some of the other awards apart from incident?
There was King of Towers, I think.
Yeah,
There was King and Queen of Towers.
Did you ever
No.
have a
No.
bat, Shad?
no. The best award I got was when I was in my first year dom. I got the Husqvarna award for rooting another guy's business.
The pardon? The what? The what?
Husqvarna? Lawnmower.
The lawnmower.
Oh my god.
That's good stuff right there.
Great kid.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
by the
thanks,
way.
man. I mean, I was unfortunately usurped by you for incident of the year. I thought that was going to be up there, but
God.
Did like they give you like a trophy or like a lawnmower or
I
like?
got a certificate, I believe.
That's
I got a
nice.
certificate and a slap across the face from another girl. That's what I got.
Laminated certificate or
Yeah, I think
any
You
embossing?
know what? I reckon Mum's probably still got it in some box of things that I won. It's not a big box, so you take what you get. But but they do the awards then. So if you won it 2 years in a row, I'm trying to think what it could have been. Because so many things happen in Bathurst that in any other world would be huge incidents. Like even the nudie run, which I know you've spoken about, I think, on this before. Like there's so many things, like even just the pub
Wait,
crawl.
the nudie run? I don't think I know about the nudie run.
So that was every year the footy team would do
I think you've spoken about
an
this.
initiation where they take everyone to the top. All the freshers, all the first year guys in the rugby team would be taken in the middle of winter, just one random night. You'd be kidnapped essentially.
They'd fake it sometimes. You'd be sitting there like playing Mario Kart or whatever, and then there'd be a bang on the door, and it's the second or third year up rugby guys.
Yeah.
And they grab your mate that's in the rugby team in his first year, like, come on, mate, let's go. And they take him up the top of Mount Ban, get him naked, cover him in flour and eggs, read a poem like a bunch of fucking
So you get to
losers.
choose.
And then they run down a hill.
You get to choose between
What poem? Is it the
shoes,
same poem every year?
Yeah.
shoes or underwear. That was your choice.
Shoes or underwear?
Yeah, but everyone chooses shoes because you're running on like gravel, so it
Yeah.
just like makes no sense. So
Yeah.
you just run in a pack of guys all naked, but you had to wear goggles because a guy went blind in one eye a few years earlier because he got hit with a frozen egg in the eye, and then he
Frozen egg?
and then he couldn't be a paramedic anymore. Had to drop out of his course.
Oh my
So that
goodness.
didn't get incident of the year.
Samo did.
They cover you in like rotten milk and talcum
Yeah.
powder, and then you got to run down, and you got to use all the other naked bodies as a human shield while you're getting pegged with like fucking eggs and everything, and it hurts. Like it's like getting hit with paintball, like paintball, except you're naked, and like guys are getting hit in the cock. One guy shot himself like mid run, and he just goes, "Oi boys, I shot myself," and just like pulled off his sock, wiped his ass, and kept running.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then you run back, and there's just like a tunnel of people cheering you on, and then you do like the fucking team war cry, and then you go back to bed, and that's that's the initiation.
Cry being the emphasis, I would say.
And then, but then you're like, okay, that was horrible, but at least I get to do it to some other poor bloke the next year, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, you put up with this stuff because
You'll get to do it
you're
later.
like, it's just part of the.
So that's
it's part
one,
of the initiation.
that's something they do there that he beat for incident of the year. There was also like you'd do pub crawls and stuff. Shit would happen there. There was a night that DK club used to do that was just like endorsed date rape. Really, they were like ladies' night where they get all the boys in there just like as what do you call them, like the shirtless waiters, Chippendale, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they'd be serving them champagne. Only the girls are allowed in the venue. Drinking champagne, just bottomless champagne until like 9:30, and then they'd open the doors and let all the guys in. And you're like, you'd watch this lineup out the front of it. You're like, look at all these guys, just like all real goobery people, just being like, now it's my chance.
I've never been more sober in my life. I am alert. I had a Red Bull. Let's
So
go.
many things that would not be allowed that would happen in that place.
Dude,
But
all that uni stuff, because I used to do gigs at UNE Armadale. Oh wait, I shouldn't tell this.
They
story.
had
we
houses
go.
and stuff, hey? Like
Yeah.
they had like actual college at Com. I remember
Yeah,
visiting
yeah.
there.
They had,
Hey
like,
man, if
proper-
I'm brave enough to talk about the comedy trivia beef,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, I'm the editor, so I can take it out. But anyway, so I used to do gigs there, and they were always real fun. Like sometimes, like we would actually like party at like the dorms or whatever afterwards. It wasn't weird. Neil was there. He was young. They were trying to fuck him. I was basically just a chaperone, so I didn't feel like a creep. But let me tell you something about Armadale ecstasy. No good. Anyway, they gave me a go, and I was like, I just went to bed. It's garbage.
Yeah, right.
Who would have thought? Anyway, it
was a roofie.
Now Neil's on his
It's
own.
no good. I hate it. It felt like the next morning I woke up, felt like I had shelved it.
But yeah, it was like always a fun gig during like Freshers Week, right? Like we just go there and like, you know, it was like university kids, their first week, fun time, loose, whatever. And like one year, like we did it and they were so like stiff. Like the crowd were just like crazy stiff. And I was like, what the fuck? Like this is just so weird. Like everyone just ate it. And they were just, this crowd like really tense, just kind of like sitting there. And then at the end, the person who like ran all the events told me, he's like, yeah, so there was that like Australian survey into like sexual assault on college campuses. And we were like top 3. So this year before O Week, we brought all the freshers in for an extra week of like sexual assault prevention.
Mate.
So they just got high school, uni, party time, woo, brought in and just got told for a week, don't do it.
You're going to
Mate,
prison.
That's like they
Don't rape anyone. We
did
know
a-
you're going to, boys. You're bad people.
and they send you and they're like, he's done it for sure. Every photo
Yeah.
you've shown us is this
That's
guy.
him. They did the same thing in Bathurst as well when you went there in your first year. I remember we had to sit down in a big hall and get told like consent stuff, but it felt like, you ever seen that Family Guy sketch about it where it's like,
Of course, mate.
One
We
in-
love it.
where it's like 1 in 2 like 1 in 2 men will rape you or whatever, and she looks to the left and the guy's like, I'm not gonna rape you, and then the other guy's like, I might. It felt like that. You're just sitting there like boy girl watching this thing, you're like, okay.
I think I must have skipped that session.
yeah, I know you did. That was the incident. Anyway, I don't know what it was. Do you want to share? Or
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
okay.
see this
So
incident.
I was innocent of the incident the first time round.
You're innocent.
Actually, I was an
Okay,
innocent
Dr.
man.
Seuss.
okay, no, that's a thing. Have you got a book title yet? Because that sounds like it.
A likely story from old Hamo. It wasn't me, Your Honour.
Then I released a book called If I Did It.
OJ, let's go.
So I came back from, I guess it was like my second week at uni, came back drunk to Towers, and I was just walking around Towers drunk, looking for people, and I went down to like the second level to where the Fat Box was, which was the vending machine. It was called the Fat Box.
I'm
Okay.
so glad it was a vending machine.
Yeah.
Given,
Her name was
she lives-
Deborah.
given just the colour of it.
No, she was called the vending machine.
I'm like, where's the Fat Box? Here we go, let's go again.
It's amazing to be in a time machine today. Just transported back to a simpler time. 2008, where all of this was pretty fine. When Australia Day was still pretty chill.
Put some Jason Mraz on. Here we are, boys.
The Fat Box is great. You used to always steal shit from the Fat Box. It was great.
So I walked into the room, and the Fat Box, right, the vending machine, the glass is smashed.
Oh, I remember
And
this.
it was just like this vending machine full of food. And I'm drunk. And I don't know if you guys know, but I like to have food when I'm drunk.
It was feeding time.
And so I just grabbed as much as I could and stuffed it up my shirt. And I ran upstairs to like where there was about 20 people drinking, and I just go, the Fat Box is open! The Fat Box is open! And everyone just ran down, and like within 5 minutes, the whole thing was just cleared out. And I woke up the next morning in my room, just surrounded by packets of chips and like Snickers bars. And I was like, oh God, like, because this is my second week at uni, and I'd already been given a first warning, which was called a level 1.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd been given that for doing a nudie run around Towers. And
Unprompted?
we were doing a Centurion, a Goon Centurion.
Oh, yeah.
Goon Centurion.
Yeah, we did a Goon
Jesus
Centurion,
Christ.
and then we thought it'd be a good idea to run around naked. And one of my mates broke a door, and then we had to go see the head of residences, who was this dragon lady named Viv Horner, and I had
Viv
like
Horner.
flashbacks.
I just fucking love the naming names element of this.
Yeah.
This dragon lady, Viv Horner.
and,
Anyone wants to find her on LinkedIn.
I haven't heard these like names in so long.
And
It's
I
like-
tried, and I also used to go into a like boys' private school where like I used to like just get away with a bit of charm, a bit of banter with like female authority figures. They thought it was funny, and then I tried that with Viv Horner because she was just like, well, you guys should have been doing that, and I was like, well, look, Viv, like,
Mate.
the uni like basically endorses the rugby team doing like a nudie run like all the way back in here, and like, you know, there's much more to them. And
Were you
she's
trying
like,
to point out that the worst part was the hypocrisy?
yeah. And anyway, she didn't go for that at all. She's like, how dare you speak to me like that? And so we didn't get off on the right foot. And I got given a level 1 warning, which means like once you get a level 2, you're off. You're kicked out.
Oh, wow. So it's like a yellow card, essentially.
Yeah, but everyone's walking around with level 1s, mate. We all get them.
So I woke up with all this food. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to get kicked out of my second week. So I called up the head of Towers, who was a student named Teeny.
Teeny.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, look, here's what happened. I found the vending machine broken open. I took some food because I was drunk. I thought it was funny. It's all still in my room. I haven't eaten any of it yet.
I do not believe you.
No, he's definitely
I,
eaten some.
I don't think I had at that point.
I guarantee you ate some of it and then just threw that in a bin and then took the remainder back to your room.
I didn't see any eaten food in my room.
Did
Your
your
Honor.
breath smell like chicken?
Sweet chili and sour cream. Yeah. Hold on. We got a Red Rock.
To be fair,
Yeah,
Your Honour,
Red
my
Rock
life was
situation.
pretty straight. I did need some twisters.
So she said, thank you for being honest, Hamo. Probably nothing will come of it, but I'll let you know if we need to do anything. And so then weeks passed, nothing. And so I slowly ate all the food.
You kept the food just in your room for weeks and months?
Well, it was just sitting there, and then I was like, well, I don't think there's anything happening with this. I think it's good for me just to slowly eat it. Then I got summoned to see the head of residences, Viv Horner.
They're like, so you got all the food you told us you had?
Yeah. And she goes, and she firstly was like, Hamo, are you a second year or a third year? And I said, I'm a first year. And she goes, then why the fuck have I heard your name so many times? Like, you've been here for 4 weeks. Like, I heard your name could be brought up more than people have been here for 3 years.
That's actually quite a compliment from Viv Horner.
The PR king, baby. There we go. Any publicity is good publicity.
This is literally your place in comedy. People going, how long have you been here before? How come I keep hearing your name?
He's a little overachiever.
So, what are you, a 15 year, 16 year? Just 2 years, man. Then why are you at the drama lab?
So she said, what were you doing in the room with the vending machine? And I said, I don't know. And they said she was there with her 2IC guy named James Kelly. And lovely guy. Shout out to JK. And they were like, were you looking for someone? Were you hungry? And I said, no, I don't know. I didn't know why I'd ended up in that room. And then James Kelly chimed in and goes, well, to be fair, if he had broken it open, he probably would have come up with a better answer for why he was there by now than I don't know.
Can't believe you're using like the fucking deposition tactic that
That's what they
Biden
all
and Trump
say, yeah.
use. The exact same thing. It's like, how's your memory? I don't remember. It's all right.
So that ended up, they were like, okay, well, if you didn't do it, you have to track down who did.
Yeah, Detective Hammer.
So I'm like,
What a spin-off. This is like every Channel 10 night, like Thursday nights on 10. He was framed. But his only way out is to find the real.
Thank God there weren't true crime podcasts back then.
But did he really do it
one.
himself? That's the mystery. At the very end, he finds out it's him all along.
so the cops came in and they fingerprinted the whole fat box. And I'm like, what is that going to prove?
Wait,
it was just like people.
You're,
that came-
you're kidding.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I thought that was a
How
joke.
big is this vending? This
Normal
must
vending
be an
machine.
insane amount of produce to.
Well, you know what the weird thing is we used to steal stuff out of it all the time. You just get a coat hanger and pull a packet of chips out. No one thought, hey.
But so there was a list of suspects, and I was on the list, and
I was easily the fattest.
but there was
There
about
was a list
The
of
odds were
suspects,
stacked against me.
and Shad was on it for some reason.
there was a guy on the list called Quirky who didn't even live. who didn't even live in Towers. But a rumour started that he was seen walking around near Towers looking angry. That was that was enough for him to be on the list. So at the end of the year, when it got to Bruce Ball, they had Incident of the Year, and it was the fat box getting smashed open. And the award recipients, in lieu of an actual person who was caught, was Quirky and me. So we went up to accept this award. We went up to accept this award. And Quirky, I don't even know why he was at Bruce Ball because he didn't even live in Towers, but he was there. And he got the microphone and he goes, look, guys, it's the end of the year. I'd like to finally get this off my chest. And I'm standing next to him and I'm like, holy fuck. He's about to own up. And then he goes, Hamo did it.
That's sick.
A year later, the guy who really did it, whose name can I say? I don't know.
You can say it. It's not like they're going to get like, you're going to say they're going to kick down his door.
The statute of limitations has expired. I think it's all right.
A year later, the guy who really did it, Scott Wallace, came up to me.
Scotty Wallace!
Scotty! Got him.
You fuck it. And he goes, mate, just probably no. I did it. And he's like, what happened was I was just drunk and fucking around and I threw a chair and it fucking hit the machine, smashed, and I bolted and you must have come into the room 30 seconds later. But, so I won Incident of the Year for an incident that I didn't even do.
And what was the second year you did it? You actually did it.
The second year I shat in a sink.
Yeah. You can't deny that one.
Wait. But tell the second part of the story, which I adore. This is the funniest, the most unnecessary, funniest thing.
I did a single long log in the sink for some reason.
A single long log.
Yeah.
Unbroken.
Unbroken.
Just making sure you were squatted enough to maintain.
You had a good diet at the time.
And then, the cleaners refused to clean it. So it fossilized. It turned hard. And this whole bathroom, communal bathroom, was just like exiled. Like no one would use it. It was like someone had died in there. Shit. So a guy I had a kind of a falling out with Sam Ferris, who was a known fibber around town and troublemaker.
Whoa, bit of an accusation.
I went up to him and I said, "Guess what, mate?" I said, "I did sink poo." And no one's ever going to believe you. You're the only one that knows. And because he was so known for telling these tall tales and like talking shit, the look in his eye of knowing I was right, that was all I needed.
Just I did sink poo.
I did sink, bro, and no one is ever going to believe you. And when
so callous.
And again, that award, Incident of the Year, went unaccepted because
for sink poo.
Never owned up.
I never owned up. And
sink poo was Incident of the Year, but nobody claimed ownership.
That's it. So I got an award and accepted ownership for one I didn't do, and then didn't claim for the one I did do. So I guess about the world balanced out. But there was a list of about 8 or 9 suspects for that one as well.
Who was on that list?
Rob Henson, I think.
Wade Jeffries probably was on that list as
probably,
well.
Why would
Josh Gerard.
Why would they probably be on the list? Are they just known pooers? What?
They were hanging around near the room where the sink poo happened.
Yeah.
They're in the vicinity.
In the vicinity with clenched buttocks.
Eyewitness testimony, famously unreliable. I don't know if you guys went to law school, but you really forget details. You get the idea put in your head.
The motive, opportunity. They didn't have an alibi. This kind of stuff.
I love the spin-off series of Detective Hamo, though. You need to find out who did it. Otherwise, you're taking the fall.
NCICSU.
Yes.
I didn't put a lot of effort into that investigation. I'll be honest.
No, I could imagine.
Wait, were you the detective again for zinc poo?
No, not for zinc poo.
I didn't realize you're a fucking cop.
That'd be great again.
Poo crime. So when the award was, when they read out like Sink Poo Incident of the Year, did they just go, would anyone like to claim? And then everyone just sort of sat there? Or
everyone's
were they
blind and just cheering.
Yeah.
Because they're all shit-faced.
Okay,
and then they just move on to the next award.
Yeah, well, Sink Poo. We love Sink Poo. Next. Yeah, that kind of shit.
Did you get some Sink Poo merch done?
Law and Order, Smelly Victims Unit.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, great times. What a
Just
time.
shitting in a sink, you can't get away with that anymore. Bloody PC's gone mad.
What was the one we heard about? Was it a tub of butter or an ice cream?
Oh, that was one of my girlfriend's. Her brother was in the Air Force. It's a common thing in defence where they shit in the. So like her brother and the Defence Force mates were at a house party. And they got the ice cream out of the freezer, emptied the ice cream out, did a shit in the ice cream tub, and then put the ice cream back on top.
I thought they let it melt.
Yeah.
Put the ice cream back on top.
Yeah,
No, like they
melted
let it melt, shit, it sinks,
someone
and then they
scoops in and eats
refreeze it.
it?
So at some point they'll scoop, and then at the bottom of the scoop, after they've gotten through the old ice, they've been eating ice cream for a week, and then they'll put one scoop in, and there'll be a shit sitting there inside.
But
the
also,
ice
you'd
cream.
think because it's melted, the shit is going through sort of all the ice cream at some point.
Yeah.
Can we all agree that's much worse than a sink poo?
100%.
Way
I'd rather
worse than a sink poo. We're not equating these crimes, Hammer.
No.
You'd be
Just
going
maybe
away for a
that.
lot longer.
I remember we used to, my mates and I get blind and do the reverse everything in the kitchen. Like, we take the fridge out, put it in backwards, take the oven out if it comes out, put it in backwards.
That's funny
That's
stuff.
good.
I love
Good
doing that.
prank.
That's harmful, just a bit of fun.
I'm still thinking
Harmless.
about.
That's one, harmless.
That's harmful. Everyone gets hurt. It's harmful. It's a really bad thing to do.
I'm
It's
still thinking
convenient.
about the ice cream
Especially if
thing.
it's Hammo's house because he needs to get to that fridge.
Yeah, just Hammer's just running at the wall, trying to knock it down. How do I turn? I can't turn the cut around. Let's get in here. I'm still thinking about the ice cream, just because, you'd think there'd be the optimist in their head, being like, "I guess this is a Neapolitan."
Yeah,
and everyone's eaten the strawberry
They put chocolate ice cream in my vanilla for some reason. That's crazy.
just for a second.
So
before-
sad.
It is
too much.
Neapolitan, and you realise that you actually got like a real gut problem because there's a bit of red in it. You're like, I got diagnosed with bowel cancer because I shit in the ice cream.
Mate, good prank and everything, but you should really get checked out. It's never too early to care about your prostate.
A few splotches of strawberry in this vanilla.
Hey, a flake.
That's grim stuff.
So
It's
grim.
gross.
Should we do a pilot ad rate?
Yeah, I think we should. God, yeah, we're deep in.
What's this?
Well,
So-
we're brought to you by Pilot, this podcast.
Oh,
Men's
yeah.
Health. Check your prostate. They don't do prostate stuff yet.
What are they? They're kind of doing everything, aren't they? They do your dick don't work, your head's picking on you,
Yeah, we got the dick
and your
pills.
bum's not up to scratch. Is
The
that
dick
basically
pills,
what
the
they
hair
got?
loss. They got I think they got like a weight thing.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the, in the
yeah.
Men's Health as well, maybe.
A lot of great stuff.
We've only ever advertised the dick pills though. They don't trust us to represent any of their other products.
Yeah, that's fair. But to be fair, it all starts with the dick.
Talk about what you know.
Like, you know
fellas.
what I mean? if you can get a rock hard dick, all the other stuff starts to fall into line. I feel.
Starts melting away.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're not too stressed.
So the way this works is we write ads
Okay.
for each other to read out.
Cool,
I've
that's
written,
cool.
I've written one for you.
For me,
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Old
So,
man Shad Wicker.
there we go.
Written
Just
by Hamilton.
Okay.
And then just put it down the camera.
Do I
Pi-
read ahead of time?
No,
No,
just
no,
give
just-
it a bash.
All right.
We do get paid for this. I don't fuck it up.
Okay. All right, floggers. Fuck. It's your boy Shad Wicker. I used to be a rising star of Australian radio until I famously insinuated that the former PM, Scott Morrison, was a C word. Do I have to say C word? I can't say cunt.
You can say can't. Well, no, just say C word. There we go.
C
You
word.
say why.
And got fired, despite the fact he kind of is one. Lately, I've been having issues with another C word, my incredibly flaccid cock. But thanks to Pilot, I'm back, baby. My weak, pathetic erections are a thing of the past, as I'm now able to once again make my girlfriend do another C word. Come.
That's why you wanted him to say C word so badly. No, say C word. It's better to say C word. If you say C word, it's actually way better. Nothing to do with the morality of it all.
There's still more.
Finish her off, mate.
Now she's back to saying, "Oh, Shaddy Wiki, oh, Shaddy Wiki Wiki, let me see that hard dicky." Wow, the writing really fell off there. Go to pilot.com.au, use the promo code FLOGGERS20 for $20 off your first order. Pilot, hard made easy.
Hammer
Good
easy.
stuff.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hammer easy.
Back to doing live reads. Look at him, full circle.
Dude, congrats.
Thanks, mate.
Congrats on that rock hard cock and making your girlfriend come.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Should we do like a little disclaimer? Pilot does not guarantee that your girlfriend will come.
No. And neither does she. to be honest. Well, I'm glad I helped with that. Do I get a cut if there's any?
No.
No, okay, fair enough.
Dude, just be thankful you're here.
Maybe you get the sink poo certificate.
Are they sending you product, Pilot?
No, you can't. It's medicinal. Like it's a prescription drug.
So you only get it if you need it.
You can't get it for free. Like you can like
You get like all the
order
blue
it.
chews and shit like that for like. Okay.
I think you got to get a prescription for these. These are legitimate medical goods prescribed by doctors to help serious
I'm a
medical
cock doctor.
conditions. Cock doctor.
Cock doctor.
Dr. Cock.
Dr. Cock. That sounds like one of the
Paging
characters
Dr.
that you're. That sounds like one of the suspects in your detective show.
Dr. Cock.
I got a tip off. There was a guy. His name was he was a doctor. Dr. Cock.
Dr. Cock.
Dr. Cock, where were you on the night of the fat box?
Oh, you just
Fat block
reminded me
incident.
of a time at uni where I got.
you go to uni?
We were we were playing some
silly.
game called Don't Flinch. And
Don't Flinch?
Yeah, and the basic
Was
premise.
that a game potentially played by the boys?
It was played by the boys.
Sounds
and-
like it.
Okay, this will blow your mind. The premise was you stand on the wall while a guy stands at the bottom of the stairs and pegs a tennis ball at you, and you can't flinch, or otherwise you've got to stay in.
Yeah. I've seen this game.
So I watched these guys do this, and they were flinching, and I'm like, you guys are fucking pussies. So I went up there and stood, and I didn't flinch, and this guy who's a cricketer pegged the ball, and it hit me so hard in the nuts that I just collapsed and couldn't move for about 30 minutes, and my scrotum went pitch black. Like my whole sack.
Wait. Is yours not like that all the time? Should I speak to somebody?
Let's have a look. Get it out on the pod.
I'll avocado nuts over here.
Even some theatre media student girls in my dorm came up with a really catchy jingle that went like, "Hamo's got purple testicles," and it just
it's
like
catchy.
Yeah,
Really, you weren't that one.
I'm sure they're working in the theatre now with choruses like that.
Okay, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Hamilton, the musical. We did it.
I remember being in the line.
I want to watch Hamilton, but it's about Hamilton.
Yeah. Let me tell you, less black people. More black testicles, though, somehow.
I remember lining up for lunch, and this guy came to me. He's like, "Hey, man, you don't know me, but weird question. Can I have a look at your balls? Because like it got around that people had heard that I had this famously like black sack, and so I had to be like, "No worries, brother. Like, just pop it out." And it'd be like, "Oh." And
Should have charged.
so after about a week of this, I was like, I need to go see a cock doctor. And
And are they really sore?
the sack was sore, yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
Sore sack redemption.
I went Sore Sank Redemption. There we go. Name of the episode.
Name of the end. Found it.
Sacred.
Oh, man. I thought it was Sink Poo for sure, but Sauce Sack
Sauce
Redemption
Sack.
is beautiful.
Unbelievable
And-
stuff.
And so I went to see this the Chinese lady who was the doctor at the uni, and
Don't do the voice,
She
Hannah.
was
Do the eyes, though.
Yeah, you can do the eyes.
she was like fondling my balls for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
she was like, "You'll be fine in a few more days." And so I went back and I told everyone as a lie that she was fondling my balls, and then I got erect, and she was like, "Does this hurt? Is there any discomfort?" And then I was like, "No," and then she started to rub my cock, and everyone's like, "Wait, so the doctor was jacking you off?" I'm like, "No, it was a medical thing." Like, and I had everyone believing that I got jacked off by the cock doctor.
Have you? I had to go to see a doctor about mine in uni as well, but mine was not a lovely Asian lady.
Chlamydia?
No, I got that done. I had the tablets, whatever. But like, but I was getting like pain on my balls, and I thought, oh fuck, and I could feel like it was kind of a lump, so I went to go get checked, and it was my first year, so I was like 18. Going to the doc, and they're like, yeah, just go into the room, we're going to do an ultrasound. And this old bloke comes in and he's like, gets the lube stuff so that they can scan your balls. And I'm like holding my dick up so he can like go on the balls. In my head, I'm going, don't get hard. Like, I don't need to deal with, like, I'm still learning a lot about myself. I don't really need to deal with ball cancer and my sexuality. It's like two things to have to jump over. And as he's doing it, though, he's like trying to get the lube on there. And it was the most awkward thing because the room's kind of dark. It was weird. And then you're just hearing the lube was running out. So it was like...
I was making that empty sauce bottle sound.
Yeah, it's like... And you're just feeling like little bits... like cold lube coming onto your balls. Like
he
someone's
shaking
like, I was like, is
Starts
this guy doing it, or
tapping
is
the
he? Yeah, like, is he putting a lube on there? Or is he spitting on my balls?
Look, man, unfortunately we've run out of lube, but we just got a new bottle of mustard for the fridge. So.
Holds up through.
And he did the same thing that your doctor did, but I didn't go back and tell anyone.
Yeah, that's fair. It was a male doctor.
Yeah, male doctor, old man.
I just like that Hammer's like, this is a pretty sweet yarn. And I'm like, you realize anyone says this, she's losing a license is a fucking nightmare. This is a faux pas, Hammer.
I didn't think that through.
You can't get a hand job on Medicare. You can't do it.
Oh, you should, though, and that's what's wrong with this country.
Preach, brother.
Oh, dude. So your black balls just went away?
Yeah, it was just a bruise.
Just a bruise. I had what did yours end up being? I had a torsion when I was a teenager.
I have, I think, is it like vesicular veins or something like that?
Ooh.
In my balls. So there's like a lot of like stuff going on in between the two fellas.
There's tension.
Yeah. So that's, just a bit of medical stuff for you there. But thanks to Pilot.
I remember there was a huge chlamydia outbreak at one point, and like everyone in my dorm had to.
Super chlamydia.
He's just ruining everyone's misses. The old Husqvarna's gone around.
A few spots on it. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to returf the whole dorm.
But you could go do the test, and then you could get your results via text message. And like mine just was a text saying you're clean. But I was like, it would be so funny just to get like a text like you've got chlamydia as a text message is way funnier than having
reply
like,
Y or N.
There's like an app business that does that.
Yeah, to
That'll,
tell
like,
your partners
message-
anonymously.
Yeah, to tell people that you've slept with. Who's still got the records to be able to give it to the app? You know what I mean?
Is it just the doctors? Like they ask you when you have it. Like you're going to call your partners?
Oh,
or
do you tell them
I think so.
and they just do it for you?
I assume so. I mean, I have not done it. I thought face to face with a bunch of flowers was the key.
Just get a group chat going.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I met you at Lapocata. I got news.
That'd be so funny. Group chat. Hey, I got chlamydia. You might too. And you leave.
You
Just
leave.
straight out. Who is this?
I actually think you guys would really get along.
You got something in common now? I remember I had the torsion, and you're like, that means you got to get a cut. And they untwist and they sew the testicle to the wall, so you never get torsion again.
Wait, so one of your balls is stuck to the wall of your sack?
Correct.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
Hang on, say what again? I want to be involved.
And let me tell you something about it. It doesn't flinch.
They twist around.
The
balls.
The nuts twist.
They spin around.
They twist. So like, because there's the dangles and then the balls, right? There's like the strings.
Yeah.
And if you twist the strings, that it can cut off oxygen to the ball can die.
But was it extremely discomfortable? Like,
Yeah, that's how I could tell I had it.
Discomfortable.
Discomfort.
Yeah.
Leave him. Leave him.
You
Graduated with a communications
He did a
degree.
shit in his
experiencing
sink.
Yeah,
discomfort.
you're right.
Sorry.
It's actually amazing he can talk.
Yeah, you're right.
It's easier to do a shit in a sink when you don't feel discomfortable.
So a lot of discomfort.
Yeah, I was 13.
Holy
So
shit!
I still had like child dick, right?
And you still do.
Damn it! End the podcast.
Clip it.
Burn the cabin down.
That's hot stuff.
In what world was that sentence ever going to go any other way? That was the only possible outcome.
I didn't think about it.
I can't believe no one else was there.
You're in the cabin, brother. That doesn't go away.
That was me speaking on behalf of the listeners.
All the floggers know. They can hear it in your voice, mate. No, so like we had to go there. And like the thing is, when it's a torsion, there's like a nurse, a GP, a doctor, another doctor, a specialist.
The
I'm just like
cleaner,
13,
the
like, get it
receptionist.
out, mate. And I'm like, I'm not happy about this.
A priest. Everyone's in.
My parents,
So
a couple of cousins who were just curious, they turned up.
So it's sewn to the wall.
Yeah, so
That's
they cut it
crazy.
open because the thing is they can't tell for sure if there's a torsion through like a ultrasound. So they're just like, look, we just got to cut you open. Like there's no other way
Oh,
about
they
it.
have to open up the sack.
And so they cut down the middle, untwist, sew to the wall. So my boy's there, locked and loaded.
Whereabouts on this Whereabouts on the sack is it sewn?
You can't really tell from the outside.
But like you can tell by the fit. Is it on the is it upper wall? Is it lower wall?
I think just kind of where it would be. I don't know. It doesn't feel weird. Let me put it that way. They told me after because I was like, oh shit, maybe I got a torsion again because I had this other discomfort. Turned out I just don't stretch before I exercise. Nightmare. But But
it wouldn't feel weird to you because it's been there since the 13.
No, but like you can't, like you wouldn't be there like, oh look at all this space in the middle. You know, we get a third one in. I mean, it's not like that.
But if you pull the wall,
Yeah.
the ball just comes with it.
I guess.
Yeah.
I've not done that much.
I kind of want to have a close look at your sack.
Yeah. Get him out.
Well, look, when we get the Patreon, the things we're doing,
the
when we get
vlogs.
check this out. When we're doing the Patreon, these are things that I'm like, they're bad ideas, but I'm doing it. We're all going to take pilot and just see if anyone gets hard throughout the pod. That's a lock. That's just a lock.
real throwback to teenage boy years.
Yeah, just a lock.
That's awesome.
Chucking a porn on.
Oi, boys, we're on here.
one for one good ideas so far.
We can all take bets.
No, here's the thing, because I want to escalate it as well. I mean, we've been over this before. I'll tell you off air. But like the second one is doing a Centurion.
Yeah.
Like live, but not a Goon-Turion. Fucking hell, you
Did you do it with
psycho.
shots?
Shots of goon.
Yeah, we did that
That's
too. Yeah.
with Goon.
Yeah, it's easier with goon, I think, than doing it with beers and stuff.
But you'd be so like, man, because like 100.
Less bubbling,
Yeah.
more drunk.
What's that?
Yeah.
3 liters of wine.
And it doesn't matter if it gets a little bit warm because it's fucking goon. Like, it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
that's 3 liters of wine though.
Yeah.
In just under 2 hours.
Were you doing the opposite? Like, yeah. The timer.
Was
like
it 1
a
on 1?
minute?
That's a bit
Yeah,
intimate.
one to like with a
there
minute.
was 4 of us doing it.
And it was every minute?
Every minute.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Every minute.
Good
It's a
times.
lot. So yeah, we're going to do that as well. And then what was? I thought there was another one. Damn it.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Sean, your balls getting pulled so we can see just. It's
Just-
that's fake. Do you have like a big scar down the middle of it or something?
Oh,
We
you
need to
can't
shine
really
like
tell.
a torch through the back.
Yeah.
Like
like a bat
when you're
signal.
doing it to camera, do it so you can just see like this.
Dude, if I shine a flashlight through my balls onto the wall, the cock doctor's going to turn up.
Yeah. It'll be like.
The bat signal.
You needed me?
The sack signal. There we go.
signal.
Oh dear. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
come
Can
on
you come
in.
back in like half an hour, please? Thank you very much.
There's the cock doctor.
We did it.
My dad famously had a sack incident.
You.
Fuck, he's on again, boys.
Come
on, get in.
Pete. We did it.
Get me as a regular boy.
He's done well there.
Years before
Sniping.
years before I was born, he went skiing and he fell over skiing and his ski stock went through his pants and ripped his sack open. And he had stitches.
Jesus
But like,
Christ.
I'm lucky to be here in any condition, let alone the one I'm in.
Yeah, it does explain a lot.
Man, if that didn't happen, maybe
That's
never Nick.
awful.
So I was sitting in those balls. So
Yeah,
we
you came from the ball that got squished like that.
we nearly spilled
He was
out.
just in his bed going like, fuck, it's a bit chilly today. It's cold. You don't have a sweater. I'm fucking fresh.
we nearly spilled out on the Black Diamond track at Threadbow or something.
Oh, it's a massacre.
I mean, Parish just seems more appropriate.
Yeah.
The sack incidents. Do you get the crawls? I get the crawls. I can't hear. Like when you like split in half. I'm like, ooh.
But you've had the worst thing.
No, they cut it
split
open as
in
professional. I
half
was
is-
general anesthetic, baby. I was under.
Fair. Did you see it?
Nah,
Did you have a look?
No, I mean there was a scar and stuff. But that was the thing I was going to say. It was funny because my friend had like a thing recently where he had like a ball surgery and he's like, "Where do you reckon I can go for a run?" And I was like, "Not yet." Because I remember I was like 13. I had a trampoline at the time. And like 3 or 4 days after, I was like, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh,
Oh, there was chaos for the balls.
agony. Agony.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
How much is
bouncing a bit.
Just did a little bounce to
Have a
see
little
what his
bounce.
balls did.
Yeah, it checks out.
He's a scientist, this fella. One of the greats.
He's a detective. He's a
A
scientist.
real polymath.
This guy does
I
it
was
all.
like, wait, does that mean I get to fuck more than one chick? No, that's not what a polymath is. You fucking moron. Spell it.
Polymath. There we go.
Nice work, brother.
What's that sound you just made then? What was that all about?
That's his brain churning.
Oh.
Do I make noises?
You make a few noises.
Yeah, I'm making
It's
it.
interesting hearing them live. rather than in the pod.
Instead of the voice notes I send you.
You sound like a washing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Well,
stuff.
look, guys, I think we're good.
That was a bit of fun. Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
We had a
That's
good
great.
time.
Thank you for coming to the cabin.
No,
Thank you for
thanks,
joining
Amos.
us, Shad and Pete.
Thank you.
Saving the cabin.
Thank you, boys.
You want to plug any shows? When
plug
this
yourselves?
This will come out.
When's this come out?
This will come out.
Don't know. Could be whenever.
All right.
But just let
Well-
people know where to find you in general and about Shad and Pete Say the Word, which we've been on as
Right.
dual guests. We had a great time.
Even at the vlogs. My Instagram is diapetes, DIA_PETEES. If you want to find me.
Wicked Shad, SHAD for Shad, obviously. And then it's Shad and Pete Save the World.
And we're coming all over the place. We'll be in... we're obviously doing the month in Adelaide. We're coming to Sydney.
Yeah, it'll definitely be out by the time you come to Sydney. So let them know. Most of the vloggers, we believe, are Sydney-based. We'd love to know if they're not, but I think they are.
We've
Well,
got
yeah.
3 shows in Sydney, so you write down any problems you've got. Nothing's too fucked up. Nothing's off limits, obviously, after being in this chat with Hammer the whole time.
I did a poo in a sink and I can't tell anybody.
Sink's great. Put it in. Actually, I remember once, the podcast's over, but someone shit on my fridge at a house party.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
It was me. Finally, I could get this off my chest. The only people that knew about this was me and Sam Ferris.
Ferris is a goddamn vault.
Put problems in the bucket, and then we have special guests, and we get really drunk and solve them for an hour with a 100% success rate.
Guaranteed.
never failed.
Never failed. Ring a ding ding. Brisbane Floggers, you guys are there regularly doing that show more regularly in Brizzy.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out. It's a good time.
We got solo shows in Sydney as well. Should probably mention that.
Yeah,
so you
just
can
come
see
and
that as
just
well.
follow us and
It'll
come to our shit. That'd
Be
be
in the
nice.
script. It's all good. Hamo,
Thank you, boys.
can one of you guys say stay flogged up and the other one say check the dodgems and then
Okay.
Hamo's going to end the podcast.
Stay flogged up.
Check the Dodgems.
Bye.